Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming. I'm Dell and this is the campaign mode for From the Depths. I am just on the fortress at the moment, watching the Atlanta building in the background. And since the last episode, I believe the 1.94 is now in the main build, so everyone will have access, should now have access to the stairs blocks and some changes to the menus. So especially when you're in build mode, you'll see some slightly different layouts and positions of items where they are. So that will take a little bit of getting used to. Some good things like the painting mode at the bottom, but we're not here to look at the patch at this second. I'm sure others will do that. The stairs do seem to work most of the time now. I did find one little problem, and saying that, are they going to work? Yeah, there you go. They are working now for us. So at this moment, as I said, we are, if I go down here, where are we? We are building some ships, and we've done a fair bit of ship building in the last little while. Some various ships I've brought in, which I'll show. Some of them are new designs, and I'll show them as they come into combat. So we're working on that. We're a bit short on natural resources at the moment because everything's taking wood, and we're not really being able to pull a lot down from the resource zone. So our next mission at this moment is, if we go to the map, I pulled everybody back from the resource zone we found over here. Simply they needed to refit and repair. So I pulled everyone back to this particular fortress, and we've had a few attacks whilst we've been here. We've been attacked by a barracuda, moray, and an angry chicken, and we've managed to beat them back with our forces. So that's also a good thing whilst we were repairing. But now I'm ready to go and retake this zone here by force, and the Atlanta will join the we've got the force spankers now taken over from the starter ribs, so they're my fast force, and I'm going to put the Atlanta, once it's up and running, into there because it's relatively fast. It'll slow them down a little bit, but it will act as a good should we say, some firepower for that force to protect them. And then we have our main force. I've taken out the Atlases. They weren't really up to the job anymore. Their wood is not really suitable. So we may build after this another Atlas to go in here, or we'll look at some of the other ships that hopefully people are bringing in soon. So plan at the moment is to push the resource ship with this fleet into this area so that we can start gaining some resources. So without further ado, what we will do is we're gonna bring up our fast force and our main force, and then we'll bring up the gnome as well into this area, so it's just following behind. The merchant schooner will stay roughly with the gnome as well. Now we have got a few other little forces. We have the first Royal Bretonian Air Force, so we're bringing that up as well. And if we get a chance, we'll have a look at some of the Catherians. I always get your name wrong, but don't care. Catherian's new ships and aircraft, which is at the start of that particular area. I haven't brought in the dirigible yet. That may be one other area that I'll bring in. So at this time, let me fast forward it until we get a battle. From this point they will then go on to the resource zone, and once I get an interesting battle, I will bring you back. So we have a Cockatrice, which is similar to what the Angry Chicken, I guess, and a Cockatrice 2, so that's 3,400 points. So we've got various ships coming in. We've got the Sopwith Camels from Corsair, or I'm going to call it Corinthian. Anyway, nice little, some nice little fighters, biplane fighters, always good to see. And our shells are doing quite well against this Corinthian. All things considered, we're doing quite well. We also do have a new ship that I've brought in, which is my version of the St. Louis, which we'll maybe go through a little bit more later. But I have brought that in. So it looks like the missiles from the Spanker and various shells, he got close enough that we did a fair bit of damage against him. He now seems to be flying off in a random direction. But a few missiles helped to resolve the issue. Another interesting, maybe I've hit some of his controls so he can't turn round. Our Sopwiths unfortunately aren't fast enough to catch up. They are a bit slow. Nice design this though. Oh, they're getting in range. They actually are firing. They might be able to chase it down, as long as it doesn't get taken out by one of our own missiles, of course, which are just slightly out of range. This Cockatrice seems to be, I don't know where it's heading for, but it seems to be heading for our base at this rate. We're still going to find nothing there because we haven't spawned it in, and everything else is just trying to catch up. They are firing. They're having a little peck at it. They're pecking at the Cockatrice. 4,000 blocks. So unfortunately, it looks like we might end up following him off the map at this rate. Oh, I see he's got some heli spinners in there on inside the wings, I think, by the looks of it. Some sort of one-sided heli spinner. A little bit weird, but interesting concept. But just at this moment, we're having some problems trying to keep up with him. So we just have a quick look at the St. Louis that I built. It was requested because of its fame a little bit. It gets a name for itself in the world of warships. So I did build my version of it, which is got the 4 funnels, which is the main bit, and guns wise it's got a lot of 6-inch guns. There's basically 14 6-inch guns on this, and 18 3-inch. I've made them 3-inch. I'm saying 3-inch. They're 1 gauge guns, plus a few extra little bits and pieces. So lots of guns. Now, an interesting part about the St. Louis was it was a fairly late ship, 1905 compared to the Atlanta. But it was a very large ship. It's much bigger than the Atlanta. And the interesting bit is it a protected cruiser or an armoured cruiser? Well, when it was first designed and put into the US Navy, they actually rated it as a protected cruiser because it used the idea of having armoured decks to protect the vulnerable parts in the bottom. But it did have some armour on the side and on the main structure, but this was very thin. It was only about 4 inches, where most armour at that time was looking around 8 inches, so it was thin armour really. So that's why in most cases it's still classed as a protected cruiser and not a armoured cruiser. But size wise it was very large. Now the Atlanta, when it was the Atlanta we got over there, had a size, I think it was only something about 4,000 tons. The St. Louis was 9.5 to 10,000 tons. Almost 3 times bigger. 2.5, 3 times bigger than the Atlanta. But it actually had smaller guns because this only had 6-inch guns. The Atlanta at least had a couple of 8-inch guns. So for its size, it was very underpowered. Actually, the sister ship to it, the Pennsylvania, it was only a little bit. It was a little bit larger, not much, but it was basically it's very similar design, same 6-inch gun designs, except that it had twin 8-inch turrets, front and rear. then that give it a much better damage potential. I thought about building that, but I thought no, we'll go with the St. Louis, which is just lots of 6-inch guns. Anyway, let's go and see how the Cockatrice is going, see if we've actually caught up with it yet. Now, unfortunately, this Cockatrice is running faster than our ships, directly off the map, and there is no way we have of capturing it at this moment. We're already off the edge of the map. Our Sopwiths are trying, they go 25 and everything else is at 28, and I have no way of stopping this, so I may have to reload this and get back to where we were, because there's just no way we can return and stop the battle except by basically surrendering. So I've had a look at the end battle options, and basically it would just destroy just about everything. So there's no way I'm doing that, because that is a lot of things, just because the vessel goes off the map. That's just not a viable option at this time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to a previous save and get us back to where we were. So fingers crossed, it will get us, we'll get into a similar situation, or at least be able to get past this, and I'll continue where we left off. But yeah, there needs to be some sort of problem to this. I don't think there's any other way around this, of if the ships go out of range. And welcome back, and had to rerun the Cockatrice encounter, and this time the fleet did take it out without it disappearing off the edge of the map. And now we're almost into the resource area again, and we've got another little battle coming up for some ships we haven't seen. We have a Corsair and a RedTuna. So our fleets are going to go up against these particular forces now. Just going to bring up our merchant schooner with some resources just for supplies. So let me just sort that one out quickly there. That should do. He's got plenty of supplies ready for repairs. So if we now go to here, select one of the fleets we want to have in. We'd select the home fleet and then select a battle. Normal speed. There we go. Right, so what else do we want to bring in? We want to bring in the spankers, and we also, these are I think they're mainly, they're showing up as potentially aircraft, although so we're bringing our Sopwiths. I did give them a minor upgrade, so we'll give the two Sopwith a chance on this. Maybe not those. Let's try those. Okay, so what are we going to come in? We are not going to bring in the Handley Pages. They were a couple of ones I'd set for something else. Right, let me just sort out everything that won't be coming into the battle, and that may be the quickest way. The things that I don't want anywhere near the battle at the moment. The Ironclad and the Might are fine. The Atlanta, yes, we'll bring that in. Sopwiths, and then our fast fleet, including the Atlanta, and some more Sopwith Camels. How much are we going to get in? Okay, we're going to get a fair few, because I'm running at 35,000 volume, because the game is now measured in volume, and we've got a significant size difference over our opponents here, which is what I'm going for. Actually, I think in this with these particular types of ships, we're going for quantity rather than quality. So let's begin this battle. Let's make sure everyone is on combat. Yes. Let me go on to the St. Louis for the moment. And oh, it needs some repairs by the looks of it. Okay, let's see what we can see of the enemy. So what have we got here? This is the Corsair. So 1500 blocks, nothing too big. Should hopefully be quick enough. I didn't need to bring in those Sopwiths. I thought it was a aircraft, but obviously it's a ship. Something on the view is not quite correct. But our ship's going in. We've got torpedoes coming in there as well. Excellent. Our fast scout ships are actually doing quite a good job there. Don't even need the Minotaur, which is there. What have we got? A little bit of a conflab there. A little bit have an argument happening between a couple of the spankers. What else have we got in? We've got the Atlanta is coming in with his big broadside, and that seemed to do a fair bit of damage there. Yep. When you get close into the Atlanta, it's like the St. Louis. It does a fair bit of damage with all of the guns it's got on board here. Took a bit in return. The recoil does cause it to go a little bit wonky. But what else have we got here? This is the RedTuna. So this is another little ship. 500 blocks, nothing much. So let's see if the rain of Dakar can have an effect on this. We've got enough broad trail ore. Yep, okay, that was an 8-inch. That was must be an 8-inch from one of the larger vessels. Not quite getting the rain of Dakar. The Sopwiths aren't really useful here. Okay, well that was a quick little battle. Well, just a couple of Sopwiths actually. I don't know if they got taken out or if they just dived into something, which is annoying. We'll let them repair. Okay, so everybody's going to repair themselves if there is any damage. But otherwise, we are ready for some more, ready to move on to the resource zone. Now I'm bringing up the schooner, which will, once it's in range, if we prepare it, so once it's in range, it will give all of its resources to anybody using point 1, fleet 1, resource fleet 1. So, okay, everyone's heading back to their starting positions, and we're still heading into this zone. The gnome is heading there, but he is very slow. So I'm just gonna. He's now gonna put him straight into that zone now. Whoops, that's not. Annoying. I dislike that. It's this new interface. Sometimes when you go to the zoom, it doesn't actually select the one you actually selected, for want of a better word. For the one I actually clicked on, it still moves the previous one. There is some issues with the interface when you zoom in and out. It's not consistent in my view, so that's not great. Okay, there's no one in that zone, so we've taken over that zone. But what I know there is around, I'm just going to send my little Air Force in, although they are a bit damaged. I think that one's okay. We're going to send our home fleet. We'll let them catch up again. But I think over here, if we just head over this way a little bit. Yes, there is a ground area. So we're going to next attack that little area, and we're going to use a couple of the special ships. We'll find where's the home fleet. A couple of ones that have been set up for this purpose, so we'll get them in there as well. I'm going to give some of our ships which we don't normally use a chance on here, and see a couple of new ones, mainly Caribbean, his designs, but we're going to do some general little battle against some ground forces, because why not? So let me just bring up the home fleet into range, and then we will start the battle. Okay, so we're ready for the battle now, and what we're going to bring in here is a couple of the old first of all, we're going to bring in the Vanguard. Just see if we can get it close enough to actually bombard the enemy, which would be a bit fun. It also take a bit of damage as such. The bomb Ketch, which is from Ketch, is a bombard ship, so it's designed to destroy ground targets. We got the two Handley Pages, which is a couple of his bombers, again from Ketch. So we can see if they will bomb the ground installations, and then we'll have the St. Louis and the Atlantas and a few others just to come in if those ones don't manage to do it. So let's see how this goes. So here we have the Handley Page. Very nice little ship, very nice replicas I think here. They've got a few little bombs to drop on the enemy, and then we have the bomb Ketch over here, which is, as you can see, is a dirty great big mortar on the front. So once that's in range, that should do some damage. Looks like the Vanguard has already been hit by the enemy ground forces. But let's see if these Handley Pages can actually get in and do a bit of damage on some of these areas with some bombs. Now unfortunately they are firing some missiles, which is not good, but the bombs are out, the bombs are gone, and they took out that gun tower. Excellent. So that's using the new bomb chutes, the cram cannon bomb chutes, which I think is a great little show of those as well. So they work quite well. They destroyed their main defences. Now we just can see if they can take out the missile turret as well, because that's going to be taking out the Handley Pages. There we go. It's those missiles. Oh, doing a bit of damage. Luckily, being made of wood, A, it repairs. B, it can take a bit of damage. Oh, he's got more bombs going in. Some more bombs going in against one of the buildings. Oh, nice hit there against one of these. Looks like there's some sort of meeting room in here. We may have disrupted their meeting. Now the Vanguard is still heading in slowly now because half of his sails got taken out, and the bomb Ketch is still trying to get in range. Unfortunately, that mortar hasn't got a massive range. So let's see if the Handley Page, one of them he's going a bit low. He is going a little low, which is not good. The other one is being hit by the missiles, so I think he's going down as well. But it's keeping him busy. Hopefully, maybe he's close enough that the other one, although he's in a bit of a death circle. So it might be the bomb Ketch is the next one to come in. All those bomb Ketches taking some missile hits here. Unfortunately, we've got to take out that missile control, this missile platform. Ideally, if we can manage to get a mortar shot off or two. Well, it looks like our Handley Page is firing his little auto cannon at the system, so he's not given up yet, although, you know, the autocannons aren't really going to do too much damage on this. We need that big shell of the bomb Ketch, basically, but it's, unfortunately his range is just... he's having to get a bit too close, effectively. I think he might be taken out before he can get close enough to use his mortar, but you never know. He's still getting closer, and now the missiles have locked onto the Vanguard, because he's just basically a damage soak. This, if he does get close enough to fire, it'll be a miracle. But it's the last hurrah of the big man-of-war sailing ships. This could be the I think the steam driven, but I want to see if this bomb Ketch can get close enough to get a good launch against that missile controller. Handley Page is now on the ground trying to head in. Go on, get in there, go on, get a nice little bit of explosives out there if you can. Oh, there we go. Finally. Was it on target? Doesn't look like it. Although there's some damage coming into it, but not quite enough. Oh, that looks a bit better. That's taken out a good portion of the inside. A couple more shots like that. That looks a bit better. He's taking a fair bit of damage this time. And there's one of the big mortar shots, I think. Oh, no, that one missed. Oh, these are just normal cannon shells. Now, mortar takes a while to reload. And he may run aground. Yes, he has run aground, but he is also firing his guns at the same time. Is that enough to take it out? That's taken the missiles out. That's good. So now they can concentrate on some of the other areas. So, unfortunately, I really liked these designs. The Handley Page didn't take to the missiles. Maybe a couple of heat decoys, although it wouldn't strictly be a replica. A couple of heat decoys on the rear or such could protect it from some of the more basic infrared missiles. Well, he's firing his shots. He is firing guns. Unfortunately, the mortar is not actually is actually working against itself now. It's going straight into the ground. So he might have to take some items out and bring something else in that can damage it. Oh, broadside. Broadside from the Vanguard. Didn't do too much damage because they haven't got that greater penetration on metal, but yes, we need something else in that can do a little bit more damage. I think at the moment we need some. Oh, I don't know. That would be good against these the wooden areas. I'm guessing here. Yeah. Just continuous battery. That was and just eventually wear them down, grind them down. That would be what the this style of large battery would do. And we have had some explosions, so they're doing okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to take out the Handley Pages and just see if I can get something else into the battle. And the St. Louis and the Atlanta are now going to be heading in. I have put a little surprise on them in that they do have some missiles on them mainly for aerial defence, but for the moment it seems to have thought that it's because these are effectively not at sea level, it thinks they're aircraft. Which isn't too bad because we are getting some missile hits, and the bomb Ketch and the Vanguard are still happily shooting, although it looks like the bomb ketch is actually shooting the that. So let's see if we can use this now. Now, one change to the latest build is you can select a ship and put it in patrol mode, and you don't need a card. So if I go over to here and tell him to go over here, maybe we can get him to go into in a different way, round the side, flank them. Okay, so the Atlanta, its big 8-inch gun, is getting a bit of some shots in here, and the St. Louis is moving up as well. You can see the St. Louis here with its massive guns. It is a little bit longer than the Atlanta. Because of the sheer number of guns on there, I needed to make it bigger. But I think, oh, we have taken the last vessel out, and this is the Atlas, the launch pad. So obviously we haven't finished against the enemy yet. It's launched an Atlas. Oh, this was unexpected, but the St. Louis and the Atlanta should be able to hopefully take out the Atlas. So this was the Atlas Gantry, and the Atlas is having a go at the Vanguard. Big explosion. Although the Atlas has been taken out, he has done significant damage on the Vanguard. Although the Vanguard's having a shoot back. He's not going down without a fight. But the multiple guns of the St. Louis are now having a go at this Atlas, and they're just drilling through it. Looks like the AI is still not really avoiding the ground, really. Still seems to be trying to take ships onto the ground. I'm sure I've got them set for sea fleet. There they are, set as sea fleets, but they don't want to avoid the ground. Okay, well the Atlas is down, so now it's this gantry is left to take out. There's some good bombarding coming in now from the Atlanta and St. Louis with sheer volume of fire. Yeah, you can see the pathing. Yes, they're not. Yeah, not really as effective. St. Louis massed barrage. Atlanta having a bit of a problem. We'll see if we can get the Atlanta to go out a little bit, put it into patrol mode, and then say, right, just go here, here. Can't make him loop nowadays by the looks of it, unfortunately. That's a pity. And we'll do the same with the St. Louis. Put him in patrol mode. Although that was actually enough. Didn't get a chance to muck around with the patrol mode. Okay, so what should we do here? Now, I think the Vanguard, I think I might send him back to base. Is that going to split everybody up? Yes, it has. Let's see. Home fleet. Vanguard. Oh no, it's only done the Vanguard. That's good. That's good. Right, so the Vanguard, I'm going to send that back. It's going to limp its way back to base to basically be used. No, we'll just take it here, and we will scrap that. I think deconstruct it so it's ready for the next ship that we need to build. So that one will be taken out. We'll take all of the other ships out for the moment. There we go. Right, we'll sort out all the AIs and everything later. So just having a bit of a fight with the interface there. Wasn't quite doing what I wanted, which is unfortunately far too bloody typical of this the interface just at this moment. Anyway, hopefully that was a little interesting, seeing the ground forces and the bombarding of that. Like the Handley Pages, we'll keep them in. Maybe they'll get replaced at some point by a better force of bombers in some description. Interesting to see what other people can come up with. Maybe some Zeppelins. I've got the Zeppelin to come in as well. Next, we're going to get this resource zone sorted out, and then we will push over and start building up the ships, possibly bring in some new forces and push our envelope, because our forces at the moment, they're okay, they are surviving by sheer numbers rather than quality against some of the better deep water guard ships. So we need to bring in maybe some slightly better pre-dreadnoughts, slightly better guns, start to look at the advanced guns in some cases, mixing cram cannons with advanced, just to see what we can do, and that will potentially be in a couple of episodes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this force as far as it will go. Once we've established this base, I'm going to push them forward a little bit until they basically meet their match, and then we will look at some better ships. But until next time, please click that like button. Any comments, as always, leave them below. Do you think it's I should push these forces until they get destroyed, which is my idea at the moment, is they stay in until they are not used or get destroyed, and then I don't rebuild them. The Vanguard I will take out of play because it's a lot of resources which are needed for building the better ships. I think I'd prefer to have another St. Louis or Atlanta and use the materials in the Vanguard to build a better, one of the other ships. But any comments, always good to hear. What you think would be a good plan. In general, until next time, keep playing the game. Have a look at the discussion about the replicas. I'll put a link down below if you like building replica ships or that fit within the campaign sort of sizes I've set in the discussion. Go to Steam forums, have a look, post your ship, see it in the game. Until next time, have fun.